This video is going to be on the microscopic structure of compact bone. And that is what you're looking at right here, is a microscopic image of some compact bone. Now keep in mind that compact bone is found around the edges of the medullary cavity and the diaphysis of long bones. And it's also found around the edges of the epiphyses as well. Alright, so just keep that in mind. That's typically where you find those. You also find the compact bone along the edges of the flat bones and also irregular bones. Pretty much all bone types and shapes are going to have some compact bone lining the edges, covering the outsides of those bones. So let's talk about some of the general structures here. And the first structure I want to point out are these target-shaped structures. All right, so there's one there. There's another one here. There's one right here. That whole unit is called an osteon. All right. Now, osteons are the functional unit of compact bone. So you have tons of osteons packed side by side to form the compact bone. Now let's look at what is found inside of the osteon. So right in the center of each osteon, I'm just going to highlight this here. Right in the center, that structure is called the central canal. And inside of the central canal, in a living bone, you would actually see some blood vessels. So I'm just going to draw a few of those with the red and the blue. And you would actually see some nerve supply as well inside of that central canal. And so you have a central canal running through each and every osteon within compact bone. All right. Now radiating around that, so let me just erase all this. So radiating around the central canal, we have rings of bone matrix. So the bone matrix grows in rings that look kind of like rings on a tree trunk almost. And so it grows in ring-like structures. I'm just going to draw a few of them. Those rings are called lamellae. Right? Lamellae. Those are the rings of bone matrix. Now, as you might notice, there are some dark spots. So I'm going to kind of highlight one right here. There's some dark spots kind of scattered throughout this tissue. Those dark spots are called lacunae. And within the lacunae, you would actually see a bone cell, okay, mature bone cell. So let me just draw one right there inside of the lacunae, called an osteocyte. So osteocytes are mature bone cells, and they reside inside of the lacunae. Now, they don't become osteocytes until they become completely engulfed or enveloped by that bone matrix, or surrounded by the bone matrix. Okay. Now, radiating out from the central canal to all of these lacunae, all of those osteocytes, you might notice there's some little squiggly lines that kind of radiate out like the sun almost. Those little squiggly lines are called canaliculi. And those canaliculi, as you might can imagine, are used to help deliver nutrients like oxygen and glucose from the central canal, this dark spot here, which I told you earlier is where all of the blood supply is, right? From the central canal to the osteocytes. Now, if you didn't have any of these canaliculi here, the osteocytes would essentially be walled off from that blood supply. They would get blocked off from it. And so they wouldn't have any oxygen, they wouldn't have any nutrients, and they would end up dying because of that. So these canaliculi are small tunnel-like passageways that allow for transport of nutrients to all of those cells to make sure that they survive. All right? All right, so that pretty much goes over what I want you to know for the osteon, for compact bone. So let me know if you guys have